Good morning, everyone. Here we were studying about our fifth unit, that is the passband digital transmission. So in previous session we have seen when we are talking about the baseband signal at that time, the signals have significant power spectrum at low frequencies, so they can be transmitted over a twisted pair cables, coaxial cable. But they cannot be transmitted over a radio link or satellite link because this will require large size antenna. These will require to take care of a low frequency spectrum. So we cannot use that for a long distance. We can use that baseband signal over only a short distance. So here if we have to modulate a carrier frequency using the baseband signal, the amplitude, phase or the frequency of signal we are supposed to vary in accordance with the baseband signal. So in previous session we have seen how to change. If there is change in frequency, we are saying that as a frequency shift gain. When the phase of carrier is varied in accordance with the baseband signal, we are calling that as a phase shift gain. If we are changing the amplitude of a carrier in accordance with the baseband, we are saying that as a amplitude shift gain or the on-off gain. We have seen this concept. So here in today's session we are supposed to study about the bandpass transmission model, in which firstly we will see about the binary phase shift gain transmitter. So here when we are using the bandpass signal, we can take the signal, you can take as a S of t equal to x of t cos 2 phi fct plus phi t. So here we are saying x of t is the envelope of the bandpass signal and phi of t is nothing but it is the phase of signal. So here we are saying we are supposed to change the phase with the time. So we can say phi of t is the phase of signal which are time varying. So here if we are representing the band pass signal in terms of phase and quadrature phase, we can take s of t equal to cos 2 phi fct cos phi of t minus x of t sin 2 phi fct sin phi of t. So here you can take that and you can derive from these equations phase and the quadrature phase component. How you will get quadrature phase component sq of t equal to x of t sin phi of t, and you will get phase component in phase component you can call as a si of t in phase component. You will get x of t cos 2 phi fct. So here when we are using the BPSK transmitter at that time in binary phase shift gain, we can take pair of signals, the binary. How we can take? We are taking 2, S1 of t, S2 of t. So if we are representing S1 of t to represent 1, S2 of t will represent the value 0, and you will get these signals as S1 of t equal to square root of 2 ps cos 2 phi fct. You will get S2 of t that equal to square root of 2 ps cos 2 phi fct plus pi, because here we are changing the phase. So we can say binary phase shift gain is a two-phase modulation scheme. We are using here zeros and ones value. So we can say in the binary phase shift gain, zeros and ones in the binary message are represented by two different phase states in the carrier signal. And here if we are taking the 0 degree for binary 1, you are supposed to take 180 or a pi for binary 0. So here if we are taking S1 of t to represent 1, we are taking S2 of t signal to represent 0. And if we are taking S1 of t equal to square root of 2 ps, ps is nothing but signal power into cos 2 phi fct. You are supposed to take S2 of t which will have phase difference of 180 degree or pi with respect to S1 of t. So you will get this S2 ऑफ टी का इक्वेशन क्या मिल जाएगा हमें? You will get square root of 2 ps cos 2 phi fct plus pi. And here we are calling ps is nothing but we are calling as a signal power. So you will get that value ps equal to a square upon 2. And we are saying a is nothing but amplitude of signal. How you will get? You will get a equal to square root of 2 ps if you rearrange ps equal to a square by 2. So here we can say if we are taking the data 1, we will get signal will have fixed phase. And if we are taking the data 0, it will have 180 degree of a phase difference. So here we have seen when we are using the digital modulation technique, a set of basis functions we are choosing for a particular scheme, and the basis functions are orthogonal. We are taking orthogonal to each other. So we are deriving these basis functions using the, we have seen in the previous sessions, Schmidt orthogonalizations. So if we are taking the, choosing the basis functions, any vector in the signal space we can represent as a linear combination of them. So in BPSK only one sinusoidal is taken as a basis functions, and modulations will achieved by varying the phase of sinusoid depending on the message bit. So here within a bit durations, the two different phase states of the carrier signal are represented as, how you are getting? You will get S1 of t equal to cos 2 phi fct and S2 of t equal to square root of 2 ps cos 2 phi fct plus pi. You can take square root of 2 ps or you can write A. A is nothing but amplitude of the sine signal, sinusoidal signal, and cos 2 phi fct. T is nothing but it is the instantaneous time given in the second. Fc is the carrier frequency. So if we will get these equations, you can say for the narrowband transmission you will require carrier frequency that will be greater than 1 by TB. TB is nothing but bit period in seconds. So here we can say you are supposed to use for barrier transmission, carrier frequency will be greater than 1 upon TB. TB is the bit period in second. So here we can say that is there will be amplitude of multiple cycles for carrier sinusoid within 1 bit durations. So here you can see the diagram for BPSK transmitter. Now we will talk here about that transmitter. So here if we are talking about the BPSK transmitter, we are taking two signals, S1 of t, S2 of t. So we can give that binary data sequence to the bipolar non-return to zero level encoder. So firstly you can see here, if we are having the binary sequence, how we are changing that into a bipolar non-return to zero values. So here when we are giving the binary data sequence to the bipolar non-return to zero encoder, you will get S1, two signals, S1 of t, S2 of t. We are taking S1 of t equal to square root of 2 ps or A into cos 2 phi fct, and you are taking second signal S2 of t equal to square root of 2 ps cos 2 pi fct plus pi. But we are saying we are using S1 of t to represent 1. We are using S2 of t to represent 0. So we can take S2 of t equal to minus square root of 2 ps cos 2 phi fct. So here as you are getting S of t will depend only, how? It is depending on the B of t. B of t is nothing but which binary data we are sending. So here you will get S of t equal to B of t into square root of 2 ps cos 2 pi fc, and B of t we are taking as a binary data. So B of t will get value plus 1 or a minus 1. If we are taking plus 1, we can say binary 1 is transmitted, and if we are taking minus 1, we can say binary 0 is transmitted. So we will get here BPSK signal can be generated by applying the baseband data sequence to a bipolar non-return to zero level encoder. And here carrier signal we are giving to the balanced modulator. We can say that as a product modulator. You can observe here the diagram. So here you can say this diagram will show the block diagram for the binary phase shift gain transmitter or a generator. So here when you will get the BPSK signal, we are taking S of t equal to B of t into square root of 2ps cos 2 phi FCT. So when we are transmitting through a channel that will undergoes change in the phase, that will depend on the propagation delay between transmitter and receiver. So here you will get the received signal without considering the effect of noise, and you can take that as R of t equal to B of t square root of 2ps cos 2 pi FCT plus theta. Theta is nothing but it is the fixed phase shift that will corresponding to the propagation delay theta upon cos 2 pi FCT. So here when we are using the BPSK transmitter, at that time if we are using the coherent detection, we are supposed to generate carrier from received signal, and here you can see now the diagram for coherent BPSK receiver, which we will study in the next session. Thank you.